Rony. Thank you for joining us today here at EJable. It's really exciting to finally get to this chance to talk to you and to know a bit of your personal experience working here in Japan. So it would be great if you could start with your introduction and how you came to Japan a little bit.
Yeah. Hi, Ryoko. Thank you so much for inviting me to me. It's my pleasure to be there, actually. Well, actually, I born in Bangladesh, as a small city and very close to the Indian border. So I was like 19 and 20 when I came to Japan. It is 2005, back to 2000. It's almost 17 years in Japan. So actually, this is a very long time in Japan. So I'm working in the couple of the different company. So when I came to Japan, then learn Japanese, then go to the school, then come to join the Japanese company. So now I have a Japanese wife and two kids who born in India. So I'm the person like not like very brilliant, the graduate from MIT or something. I'm very ordinary guy. I don't like the education, the study. I'm also more like the sportsman. I play cricket, but somehow there's a chance I get a chance to come to Japan. Then I chose to come Japan in my teenager age and come to Japan in the last 17 years actually.
Okay, I see. That's very nice. Wow, during your teens. And what was your first very initial encounter with Japan?
Yeah, actually, when I was born in very small village, so why there's no electricity or not a very good how to say communication system on that. So on that time, actually, in the village, maybe extend. My father was an army person, so he's a very strict guy. So when I have the holiday in my father job, I go to my grandma home or something. There's a village that has a television. It's called Sony television. So this is the starting actually. Like I learned about the Japanese product, and I started watching my first drama was Oshin. Maybe it's very old one. Maybe the generation gap will be there. So that's my starting about learning Japan to this drama called Oshin. So that's I know that the Japan have a lot of the technology like Sony, the drama they are like how the country moving forward that the situation to this situation. Also, the one more encounter I can say that there's maybe I don't know you remember that there's a camera, the real camera Yashica, the very old one. So
I have no idea.
so there's in the Blaze, in the small town we have a shop. We can rent the camera with my friends. We can buy a film, so we can take the picture on that film if you go outside or something. So this is I know that the technology. Wow, how the Japan is inventing the technology like camera, television. So this is the encounter actually I have learned about Japan.
I see. Okay, cool. And so you've been here for over 15 years, almost 17 years.
17 years, yeah.
17 years. Have you learned to learn Japanese fluently, or how is your experience with the Japanese language?
Yeah, actually, this is the story I would like to say. Actually, when as I said that I was not very very smart or brilliant guy like others, so I like to play cricket. So I wanted to be a professional cricket on that time. So, but the thing is like the professional cricket now is very popular in Bangladesh. The people have that as a career path, but by that time, if you select the cricket as a professional life, your career will be not like that. Then my father was asking me to why don't you chase the different career to go to the Japan and to learn the technology and make it career. Then I decided to why don't you try to come to the Japan. So by that time actually there is a how to say the booklet of the pamphlet in the school and college to as a private student to why don't you come to Japan, apply for the Japan. Then I applied for the Japanese school. It's called is in Sendai. So I thought that Japan can speak English, so a little bit English. But when anyway, just the process is going on. I applied for the language student as a language private student, and then they selected me. Then I fly to the Japan. Only the $30 in my pocket. So when I come to the airport, so I'm starting speaking English. My English was not that good that time because I'm not the native one. So I thought that in the immigration officer, they can't speak a single word with me. So somehow I passed the immigration. So that's the day I decided that I have to learn Japanese in this country if I have to be successful in this country. So this is the way actually I started the Japanese school of the 2 years. that every day of the 8 years
Okay.
learning to Japanese languages.
Okay.
I have a lot of the Chinese friends in the class. They are very good
Mhm.
and very advanced in the Japanese language, the kanji or something. So I was
Yeah.
very disappointed to why I am
Uh,
not to know that this kind of kanji. So that's the why actually working hard,
mhm.
doing the part-time job and learning Japanese with the
Wow.
part-time job with my colleagues, with my coworker, and come to the
Okay.
school. That's the academic learning. So
Yeah.
how is this? My starting with the Minna no Nihongo, the book. So, but
Yeah.
the interesting thing is that Japan and Bangladesh, the grammar is same, almost same. So
Oh,
speaking is not that hard. After 3 or 4, 6 months, I can speak on this. But learning the
wow.
Japanese, the writing and reading is take 2 years. So that's the history
Ah,
actually. So how I it's interesting to learn Japanese, and I'm learning
okay.
Japanese actually.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. And do you feel that compared to 17 years ago and now, do you feel that more and more people are speaking English in Japan or not really?
Yeah, now is the more and more people are speaking. I mean, speaking English in Japan is more. I mean, on my time, maybe I'm the only one in the school of the Bangladesh or something. But now it's a lot of people. Now is you don't need to learn Japanese. Some company offer to directly come to the country to speaking in English environment. But my history
Okay.
was different. So
Yeah.
I'm doing like very space things in the Japan actually.
Okay. I see. Then moving on to your job, could you explain a bit of your current position at NTT?
It's NEC actually, not NC.
NSC, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, so actually, I'm working the different company. I like the monozukuri, the society in Japan, so making the new products. So my thing is like we are the NEC, the company now, they are transformation to the new technology, the DX
Mm-hmm.
technology. So I'm assigning to as a hiring as a things like to explore the more DX technology. What can be the future of the DX technology? Like you know that the GAFA like Amazon, Google, they are doing a lot of
Yeah.
the things. Japan is
Mm-hmm.
not catch up yet that technology yet.
Mm,
So that's
right.
the new division, the new how to say new department has a setup for that. The most of the people has come from the outside. They're making the
Okay.
new face of the new name of the NEC can be doing the global technology in the future. So that's the DX technology we are
Okay.
promotioning in the companies and to be
Mm-hmm.
try a global technology company in the future.
Okay. So is your department or your, how do I say, like your team, are they more consists of international people, or how
Uh,
is the environment like?
yeah, it's actually this is a new department we just built up 3 or 4 years back. So it's still the very few. I don't see the other company have the many few. So it's still
Okay.
you need a Japanese speaking to invest
Mm-hmm.
company. So we
Mm-hmm.
are trying to changing. So yeah, still the very few. The most of the is a Japanese traditional company you can say still, but we are changing.
Okay, I see. So you mainly use Japanese in your work.
Yeah, but I have some colleague in the outside of the job because NEC is a very big company. So we have
Mm-hmm.
like the around the world, we have the branches offices, regional offices, we have the global colleague on that. So we have a lot of service we are developing last 125 years around the world.
Right.
So that we have a chance to with a colleague who is outside of the Japan.
Okay, I see. Then over, I know you've been in different companies over the past 17 years, but did you feel like you had to adapt into the Japanese working culture over these years?
Yeah, maybe I'm a little bit different. I never working in a foreign company. I only working
Right.
in a traditional Japanese company. So my
Mm-hmm.
case is like yeah, so when I was in the first company in the telecommunication company, I was the only one in the foreigner in this company in the new hiring.
Oh,
But
wow.
now they
Okay.
have a lot of foreigner after that. So we
Right.
start the mission in the 2009 when I start join this telecommunication company. This is a KDDI.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
on that, I was the first foreigner in the department of the new year hiring. So
Wow.
now I can say that Japan is moving like a lot of foreigner, a lot of the people are working. So this is the things of the Japan need to be changed as a diversity.
Mm,
So that's a good
yes.
sign of the Japan also for the connecting the people to country.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay. That's good. I'm glad to know that there's more diversity in the working force as well. Okay. And then could you let me know what you like about your current position?
It's a little bit explained that actually it is the new department, the new technology you are working on. So we
Mm-hmm.
try to make a vision like the company as a technology global technology company. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing is we are doing the transformation mode now. So
Yeah.
what the a Japanese traditional company trying to be a leading technology company in the global. So those we are having as an interesting part in my job now. So we are in the
Mm-hmm.
transformation even and migration to a new culture, the new technology leading company in the future.
Okay, great. I see. And what would be your future perspective for your current for your work in Japan? Would you like to stay at NEC and kind of grow this new department, or do you have another, how do you say, like aspirations?
No, actually, my main is like I'm already taking the Japanese citizenship. So
Mm-hmm.
my vision is like what I learned in Japan. Actually, I
Mm-hmm.
never studied the IT in my country. All the
Yeah.
IT, all the technology is given to by Japan. Actually, I study
Yeah.
everything in the Japan. So my
Mm-hmm.
vision is like I have the global background of the my personal background of course, and the global job experience. So I
Mm-hmm.
want to be promote or expand the more about the Japanese technology, what you have in the
Mm.
1980 or 1970. So
Yeah.
the more global market to people know that about Japan, about the technology. That's my vision in my career. The more
Okay.
expanding the global. And the other
I see.
such people. So the diversity will become to Japan, they're working together. So this kind of
Mm-hmm.
the bridge working I want to do in the future.
Okay, amazing. That sounds very amazing. Okay, then moving on to a bit of your social life here in Japan. What aspects of Japanese culture do you like? Or yeah, how do you think about the Japanese culture?
Yeah, so I want to divide it into two parts on that. So
Okay.
one is like the personal life of the culture and the work life of the culture.
Mm-hmm.
So when you
Amazing.
said that the personal life of the culture, it is more about the respect and the
Mm,
politeness and the kindness. So when I'm living in Japan a long time. My kids is going to the school on that. I have a
yeah.
neighbor on that. So I have a community in there. So that the more good thing is like they are respecting each other so much actually.
Mm-hmm.
In the first beginning like that, I'm not facing like the Japanese, but I'm Japanese. But the thing is like there is a little bit uneasy feel like that. But it is not the
Mm,
uneasy mean that they unrespect you. Actually, kind of that they don't know that you. But when you talk
mm,
with them going forward and changing the word like the Japanese konnichiwa or something, how are you, the daily conversation, they
yeah.
respect each other actually. They want to learn about you more and more. So this is the
Mm,
courtesy, the politeness the Japanese has. This is
okay.
I'm not sure there's only one in the Japan have this kind
Mm-hmm.
of the courtesy of the culture. But on the
Right.
other hand, when you go to the work culture, I like the culture is the two things. One is the
Okay.
kaizen, one is the ikigai. So,
Okay.
but I like more about the kaizen. What is the kaizen is like? It is kind of the daily improving if you work. So
Uh-huh.
it's the people like there's a lot of background of the people. You are come from a maybe the non-technical background, but the
Mm-hmm.
thing is like the kaizen culture. It is kaizen is everyday improvement. Every day is a challenge to
Mm,
find a better way to doing things. It needs
mhm,
confidence, self-discipline, and commitment. So this is the
mhm.
things actually I like so much. I mean, there is no any right answer. So we have to do
Yeah,
improvement yourself. We have to work hard and find a solution on that
right.
to how the things can be the more best. So this is the
Mhm.
things actually I like of the Kaizen. And about the Ikigami, I think everybody know that it's a very famous one. So Ikigami also the hardworking, like what you would do, this do very shukam, you can say that. Yeah.
I see. Okay, Ikigai and Kaizen. Now, wow. And then I know that you have two kids.
Yeah.
Yes. And what do you do in your free time or like during the weekends with your kids?
Yeah, so actually I wanted to be a cricket player in my life. So
Uh-huh.
after I came to the Japan, I never give up that my dream. I'm
Oh,
starting
okay.
the playing cricket and making the cricket club. So I'm playing the
Oh,
cricket
wow.
cricket in long time in JC. I mean Japan Super League and the Japan Division League One. So now
Mm-hmm.
what I'm doing now, I make it cricket team because I'm getting older. So the new generation need to be playing that. I have a cricket team with my friends. So this call it Tokyo Ranger. So
Okay.
anybody have to interesting to playing cricket and feel like they want to playing cricket in Japan, they can come to me. We can join
Oh,
my team as well.
amazing.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's the we have participated in the Japan tournament. It is not very famous sports in Japan yet, but
Yeah,
in
for
India,
sure.
Bangladesh, Australia, it's
Okay.
very famous, and even in England too. So that's the things every time I'm doing. So from
Mm-hmm.
this year, maybe I'll be going to teach my daughter about the cricket to playing in the professional level. So what is the
Uh-huh.
dream? You didn't do it? Maybe you ask your daughter to do it.
Yes, I see. And do you have any wishes to go back to Bangladesh at some point or not really?
In this moment I don't have any plan because it
Hmm.
depends of like what is the my kids or will we grow up.
Yeah,
I mean, what
yeah.
is the vision on that, but end of the life I don't know. But usually actually I love the Japan. Actually I already
Okay.
permanently living in this country, so don't know actually, no plan
Mm,
in this moment.
okay, great. Then I guess moving on to just purely living, do you like how busy it is in like people are very busy, like transportation are very crowded. What do you feel about these moments?
Yeah, actually, this is I also divided into two part. When I was a
Hmm.
teenager, I'm very young. I like the
Hmm.
busiest life. Like I live in Tokyo, Shinjuku. There's the center
Yeah,
of the Tokyo.
yeah,
So
wow.
that's the things I like too much. Actually, going to the outside of the friend with like
Okay.
the dinner, the karaoke,
Hmm.
playing the lot of things around that in the park. And you are the teenagers, so your colleague, everybody's a teenager, like
Yeah,
just the 19 22 years old, you join the company.
yeah.
We have the building, whole building is our dormitory, the company dormitory. We are enjoying that life actually every day. So that's the
Yeah.
different life I like. But after the getting the married, the kids, now I'm
Hmm.
feel like to living in the countryside of the Tokyo. I'm living in Chiba now, so I'm know
Okay.
more about the, because of the kids have a lot of option there, they can playing that. I'm also doing the gardening, playing
Oh,
vegetables, something. So
oh, that's
those the
very
things like half of life. I like the busiest life. Now
nice.
I'm staying in the countryside actually.
Okay, nice. That's very nice. Then, just moving on to my last two questions. Do you have any tips or yeah, tips that you could give to those who are applying for jobs in Japan and are going through interviews? Do you have any tips for when they're going through their interviews?
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's the first thing is like you have to know the Japanese culture. This is for sure.
Mm,
So, but now
okay.
that there's, I can divide it into two parts. One is that there's a company, they don't care about the global culture, like the Uniqlo, what I worked before,
Uh-huh.
like the Mercari, Rakuten. This
Yeah.
company actually you don't need to any language or something, and they are not bounded about the culture as well. But the other
Okay.
part, there's a lot of those traditional company, but those
Mm-hmm.
company have the more technological, more technical technology things you can learn. Those company
Mm,
really, you have to know that it's not the Japanese actually. It's more about, I can say, the culture, the mindset
okay.
you have to learn. Like,
Uh-huh.
so learning Japanese is a tools. You can come to Japan 3 or 6 months if you have a good invent. I mean, intention. You can learn Japanese. It's today,
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow. That's not it. But more about that, I can suggesting to learn about the culture of the Japanese culture. What they think. What is the culture mean that. What they say something. What is the behind the story on that? Why it's come like that? That's like
Mm,
what I mentioned in the kaizen. There is a
yeah.
lot of meaning actually. What is this? Is this? So this is the
Okay.
one of the culture actually. You have to learn the
Yeah.
culture, not the language. Language is a tools you can learn after come to Japan.
Right. Okay, great. That's a great advice, I think. Then, do you have any tips for or advice for people looking for work? Is how
Yeah.
can
So
they, yeah.
yeah, actually, there's a lot of company now that on what is the situation. I was there now is not more easy. Like if they're more looking for the some skilled people, and the most thing is that especially for the IT people. Now
Mm-hmm.
Japan have the very short of the
Right.
IT resource, and the
That's true.
company, every company moving to the diversity.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the chance for the people, if you want to explore yourself, accept your own country, then Japan is the best choice for you in this moment actually. In coming
Okay.
2 or 3 years, I mean, the immigration policy coming more easier for the foreigner now, the visa policy is
Yeah.
more easier for now. that they have a pointing system. So if you would like to live in this country, this is a very good choice, very safest country in the world. So I suggesting to be part of the new generation of the Japan, new transformation of the Japan. So applying to the other country compared to Japanese need more technology people, especially in the IT. I suggest to just come to Japan and enjoy the Japan life.
Okay, great. Thank you for that advice. And then I guess that wraps up my questions for you, unless you have any comments or anything else you would like to add.
No, actually, thank you so much for the chance to having me in this session. So feel free to, if you have any kind of suggestion, anyone, so you can contact with you and come to me to any advice. As much as I can to give my information to help them.
That's great. That's great. Thank you so much. And thank you for your time today as well. And I wish you the best of luck in future as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Bye-bye.